We come more, just getting ready. Hope everybody logging on, log on, get ready. We about to get into this real fast. Get your pencils and your papers. All right, I got you. Bam, boom, boom. What's up, Moors? Y'all all right? Are y'all all right? Peace, 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 everyone. Peace, everyone. Peace, 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 peace. Excuse me. I hope everybody having a good day. I hope everybody's being safe. Let me get my mic on, because we are in school, even though we in intermission. I told y'all we're gonna just be giving Moorish history. And I hope Moors are reading their books. And once we get the clearance, oops, sorry about that. Once we get the clearance, we'll be shipping everything out. I told Moors, once we get the clearance, we'll be shipping all books out, everything, man. So that's why I wanted to stop, because I got like 10 new students and members, and I didn't want to keep proceeding. You know what I mean? And it's a halt right now, and keep going deep and deep with the teachers, and none of the new students have the literature. So we're going to keep teaching science. And like I said, I encourage Moors to share their teachers with their friends. I encourage Moors to, if they're serious about what they're doing, to become members and students. Because not only are you going to learn this science, we're going to build, you're going to be a part of this body, you're going to be stakeholders of this real nonprofit organization. Don't let nobody tell you nothing, no spookism about law and business. If they're not doing law and business, that's a hypocrite. Oh, let me get my pen. 1 second, Morris. I'm sorry. Hold on. If I don't have to keep moving. Hold on 1 second. Get my ink pen. All right, all right. Y'all good? We only 8 minutes in. Y'all good, Moors? Talk to me. Islam. Islam, Moors. Islam, true light seekers. Islam, talk to your boy. Talk to your brother. Talk to your noble. Come on, man. I'm happy to hear it. See y'all. Come on, man. Islam, Moors. It's always an honor and a privilege to come to the family and deliver Allah's message. Hey, Moore, you got that answer for me yet, man? Hey, Brother Solomon, you know I was going to come back in with that question, didn't you? You got that answer? You got your Moorish Quran, right? And your Silent Brotherhood of the East. Did you research it? Or did you hit your brother up so you can get the answer? You got the answer for me, Brother Solomon? The question that you asked me yesterday? Was there a real Christ in the Bible? You have the answer to that, brother? Noble? Talk to me. Because you should. You should want to proceed unless you did that homework, Noble. Real talk. Real talk, Noble. We in class, and that's what it's all about. Because you asked me a question, I asked the question back to you, and I never got a response from the question that you asked. And I said, do you have your Moorish Quran? And have you studied the teachings? And that's the question I threw back at you. Because if you studied the teaching, the question that you asked would have been a different, how can I say it, context. You would have been asking for clarity. You would have said based on your studies, not asking me, is the Christ in the Bible real or not? Islam, Noble? Talk to me, man. This is how we learn, man. And it ain't no disrespect. This is how we learn, because you asked the question. And so I must deliver it back if I'm a teacher. That's just like if we teach in martial arts. You know? I'm gonna ask you, do you have your basic instructions? Especially I asked you your 101s. I said, do you have your 101s? Because what do the introduction of our Moorish Quran speak of? I don't even have to grab it out. Everybody should know that. If they have our holy book, that's why I be asking Moors, what do they study? No, you say you don't have those books, but I do believe he was real because he went through a dap chamber. Not just based on what nobody said, Noble, but this is why I say you have to have the Moorish Quran, Noble. If you don't have the Moorish Quran, Noble, you must have the Moorish Quran. No disrespect to nobody. No disrespect to nobody and nothing, Noble. You must have the Quran. Because what are you studying, Noble? If you don't have the Moorish Quran, what are you studying, my brother? I want to ask you. I have to. I can't even go on. We got to have a heart-to-heart discussion now. And this what I be asking Moors. Like I'm like, Moor, why we don't have the Moorish Quran? We have so many books and we don't have the Moorish Quran. You got to talk to me, Noble. Hold on, man. This is crazy. Now y'all don't make me, you gonna make me pull all this, out for now. Because, hold on, let me sit that right there. Whoa, let me see, was that something important? Nah, that wasn't important, but I better get it for my Empress gear here, hold on. So this is what we must do. 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 This is what we must do, Noble. More. I'm telling you. This is what I be telling Moors. What do we think more science, what do we think the science is all about? When we talk about Islamism and I, self, law, and master. and arm, leg, leg, arm, leg, leg, arm, head. Man made in the image of Allah. In more science, God and man. What are we doing? So how can we say we studying the teachings and studying our the holy books of Noble Drew Ali, and we don't have the Moorish Quran? I mean, somebody got to ask that. Man, come on, man, before we even proceed more. Thank you. How, Noble, how can we say we studying the prophets of Noble and we don't have our holy book? I mean, that's no excuse. That's no excuse. We must have this. That's why I be saying I know Moors that when I be speaking, I'm like, man, and when I be talking to my elders, they be like, they don't study the Moorish Quran. And he was like, and I'm like, I know they don't. And I'm like, that's sad. I'm trying to get us back to something. If we say we studying our teachings, the first thing we do, we must have our holy book, man. Like this is important, Moors. Like what do we think this is? Like what? Somebody talk to me, man. So how can we say we perfect and teaching when we go into temples? What's going on in the temple? So if Moors talk about they part of a temple and doing things and teaching, and if they don't have this, what are you doing in Sunday school? I'll wait. Because Moors have to tell me something. If Moors don't have this holy book and Moors that have the feds say they don't have the Holy Quran physically, no disrespect to you, Moor. No disrespect. This is the thing that I'll be saying to brothers and sisters. This is what I'll be saying. How can we say we study the teaching of our prophet and we don't have these books physically? This should be the first thing we have before we put some feds on our head and talk about we study Islamism. No way if we don't have a trainer wheels, which is the spiritual aspect of our science. No way, man. We out of line. And nobody can say I'm wrong. You know it. If we say you follow the teachings of our prophet Noble Drew Ali and our prophet gathered and compiled a holy book, what is the problem? You are in the temple if you part of this, if you part of what I'm talking about. We are the temple. That's what I'm trying to recondition our mind. The building ain't the temple, especially if you got a whole bunch of people that can't teach no science. I'm saying you have affairs, and I want to say you should have the science. If not, download it. This is the science that I'm saying. It don't matter if you're in a physical temple or not. When people be talking about I study at home, I say, okay, if you study at home, then this would be a particular fashion how you study at home, and you should definitely have the Holy Quran. I don't care what color you have; it's all the same science. This is the science I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me turn my brightness up. So hold on 1 second, Morris. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So that's all I'm saying, Morris. And see, this is exactly what I be wanting to talk to my brothers. We should want a covenant with each other. That's why I said, me and my dad was just talking about this today, how you cannot fake it till you make it. You cannot fake it till you make it, because you will be challenged. How can we say we have a religion, and our religion is Islamism, and we don't have our holy book, which our prophet said he divinely prepared by Noble Drew Ali, by the guidance of his father Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from his sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father God Allah. I mean, no, we not slipping, Noble. We not slipping. We not slipping. So let's not make let's just move forward, Noble. You don't have to make no excuse for yourself, because I love you. You my brother. That's why I said you my brother. That's why I said when I come with the science, I come with love, man. And when I know how when brothers speak, the only thing that I say more is I know this from the back and the forth in my head, and I know when brothers speak and when brothers ask certain questions, I am educated in a particular fashion where this is what I do and this is my life. So when a person asks a particular question, the way they frame the question is it comes from a place of unknowing, not a place from how can I say, not of a place for you want clarification, or you want to be clear on a subject, or you want to be illuminated on a particular fashion of a topic that we're speaking on. So that's the first thing, more. That's the first thing, and that's what more be asking me. This. Help me. Like some girl hit me up and talk about, yeah, can you help me how to be a national? I said, I don't help nobody how to be no national. I said, I don't know what you talk about. I said, I can't teach you how to be something you are at birth. I said, ain't nothing I can do for you. Everybody has the right of a nationality and a right to change it. I know what people motives be. I don't have nothing to sell you. You can't hit me up and think I'm finna, you some sucker to me. I'm gonna tell you the real. Hey, this ain't what I teach. This ain't no game with me. I ain't finna be hustling nobody out no money. You some card that don't mean nothing. I'm telling you, once we understand the science and understand who we are, we will proclaim, declare, and have due process, and annex our bay and the L to all our paperwork like our prophet told us to do, our birth certificate, everything, and then we take it to the world courts. That's the duality of the AA22 number. So, Moors, I love you, brother, and you know I do. You must have this. You better try to download this bad boy on the internet until I'm able to ship stuff out. You should be this. You should be at home downloading this stuff on the internet. When I tell my Moors, I know brothers have smartphones. I know y'all have. Be smart with them. Be smart with them. It's PDFs and everything. Stop looking at porn all the time on your phone and pull up the and pull up your Moors Quran. I'm telling you, man. Serious, man. Islam, Moors. Islam. Let's go. Come on, Islam. Islam, Moors. Islam. Come on, for we can proceed. You gotta have this, because this is the training wheels. And that's what I be telling Moors. Let me tell you something. When you ask the question, let me tell you something. When you ask the question, hey, no, you cracking up. Hey, but watch this though. Let me show you something. What's in the front of our Moors Quran? Let me show you something. What's in the front of our Moors Quran, Noble, for we can be clear on some things. Where I tell people, I know when people come in with a scam. Now watch this. Now let me this is why I said this is real life. Because I had a whole message that we're gonna do, and we probably get to it, but we must go over this. The science is the only thing that liberate you. That's why we must study to know it. That's right, brother. Come on, brother. Boy, if you're right here, me and you, we'll be chest bumping all day. I'm telling you, because the science liberates. When I teach this, man, when I minister, look, I got chills on me. This is for me and my family, man. We can do this. This is about perfecting yourself, man. This ain't about going to tell nobody what it is or trying to convince somebody of something noble. This is about you studying your teachings and covenant with your brother that understand the teachings. You damn right. Islam, the PDF of the Moors Quran. That's right, brother Dan Pratt. Bay, L or Bay, please annex your Bay and your L and your Bay, please. Cause I tell Moors, please annex your Bay and your L on your suffix. Come on, get used to using it. That's one part about proclaiming, declaring, and having due process, Moors. Y'all better understand this simplicity of what I'm trying to deliver to y'all. I'll be saying it every day. You're not changing nothing. You correcting a mispronunciation. Y'all ain't listening to me. So let's dig, Noble. Listen to what I'm saying. So here go your question. When you ask me, is the Jesus Christ, the Christ, did he walk in the Bible? Remember, I'm going to tell y'all, this is why I told Moors, I would love to y'all to be students, because I'm going to take stuff to higher and higher sciences. Like, I got some science right here I'm going to talk about later. But when we talk about the things that we connect to our body, like the 7 serpents and the secret salts, all that pertain to our body. When I get into the esoteric teachings and the Gnostic teachings, when I connect all things to the physical body. But Noble, get something clear in your head, because we get ready to teach today. Oh, thanks for the donation, Moore. Oh, it's Cash App. What'd he say? It's Cash App $KG Bay. I'm just looking at my phone, because one of the Nobles like, man, what's your email? Cash App $KG Bay. Islam Noble. Oh yeah, like I told Moors, if y'all saw the workout like we did early, the home workout, I finally got my Healthy Eating and Living book PDF. If Moors want to donate $10, I'll PDF you that book. I got a lot of good herbs for healings. I got a lot of workouts I do in there. And I'm going to keep coming at you every morning doing that home workout, man. I'm telling you. So, back to my brother. Solomon, Abir Bey. Know thyself and the Father God Allah. This is what's in the front of our Moorish Quran, the genealogy of Jesus. And now, as I start teaching you, I'm going to tell you never was a J in a Hebrew dialect per se. And then I'm going to show you in the 1828 dictionary, it wasn't Hebrew, it was Eber and Heber, but that's deeper teachings. But the genealogy of Jesus with 18 years of the events, life, works, and teachings in India, Europe, and Africa. Now remember, I showed you how when I demonstrated how to unto thee I grant, and how Ramatherio, he said where he got the science from. And the European that wrote Aquarian Gospels, Eliseus Levi, said where he got the science from. And he just was the transcriber. I hope you understand this, right? And I showed and we demonstrated this. That's why I be telling Morris, are you connecting the dots? That's why I have to do things systematically and systematically. But anyway, the genealogy of Jesus with the 18 missing years of the events, life, works, and teachings in India, Europe, and Africa. These events occurred before he was 30 years of age. These secret lessons are all for those who love Jesus. But I'm going to correct the name. They gave Jesus for a particular reason, because Negroes love Jesus. No disrespect. But we know Jesus in the right context means justice, if we understand the science. Desire to know about his life, works, and teachings. Blah, blah, blah. Dear readers, do not falsely use these lessons. They are for good, peace, and happiness for all those who love Jesus. And that's what I tell Moors. I know when Moors don't read their teachings. Because why can we say we follow the teachings of our Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the first thing come out of our mouth is hate? And I'm reading from your Quran. I'm reading from our Quran, Moors. That's why I'll be telling Moors. I'm like, man, it is a higher science. Why wouldn't you let nobody tell you it's no higher science, and everybody talk about we don't need degrees no more. And you got all these people trying to act like they know law, getting everybody hemmed up. And you're not studying your Quran, because once you study your Moorish Quran, you won't be set up and hustled by scam artists. Premeditating on your ignorance. I'm telling you, Moors. But the reasons these lessons have not been known is because the Muslim of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. Remember I showed y'all that? How the Rosicrucians and Eliseus Levi, they all testified to that? And how Eliseus, the European of Aquarian Gospel, said he was nothing but a transcriber? Are y'all following what I'm saying? And where the science came from? The Akashic records. Who are the Akashic records come from? The history. The Moorish Akashic records. I'm telling you, man, it's just a deeper science, and we must understand that. And that's why I teach things from the right perspective. But anyway, Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed the secrets. And for the first time in ages, have these secrets been delivered in the hands of Muslims of America. All authority and rights of publish of this pamphlet, 1927. Right? Muslim of Northwest and Southwest Africa. These are the Moabites, Hamites, Canaanites, who were driven out of the land. Come on, I ain't even got to get all the deep in that. But let me give you some basis, Noble. You know, because when we go to the truth, we have an emotional reaction to what we are told. Thank you, Noble. And that's what I be telling us, brothers. I said, man, we have to get all that crazy stuff out our head and get into the teachings. We must. The reason why we don't like organization is because we've been tricked not to. That's how we move mountains per se. That's how we had so much stuff. We was lived amongst each other. Once we saw our Buddha per se or our Messiah in the flesh, we supported it. So let me give you some basic synchronicity of this, and then we're going to go to the next teaching, Noble, because we must do this. The creation and fall of man, that's chapter 1. 2, Elizabeth of Mary and Elizabeth of Zoan in Egypt. The divine instructions. I'm going to keep it going. Elohai's lessons, the unity of life. Right? 4, death or burial of Elizabeth, Mattheo's lessons, the ministry of death. Man, I can go on and on here. Life and works of Jesus in India amongst the Muslims. The friendship of Jesus and Lammas. Jesus explained to Lammas the meaning of truth. Jesus reveals to the people of their sinful ways. Jesus attended a feast in Bihar, and here he taught human equality. Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. Jesus and Bharata, together they read the sacred books. What sacred books? The Avesta of the Guanamata. A lot of holy books when I be telling Morris, like Morris must have the holy books. No one can say they adapt and they know they adapt teachers and they don't have the holy books. They don't know, they just talking. Just because you got some damn ribbon that say adapt chamber and you talking about a whole bunch of newspaper clippings, that don't mean nothing. Are y'all listening to me? When we understand among the Buddhist priests was one who saw a lofty wisdom in the words of Jesus spoke. It was Barado, Arabo. Together Jesus, which is Yahshua, and Barreto read the Jewish Psalms and prophets, read the Vedas and the Avesta and the wisdom of Guanama. Time was when man was not, and then he was a bit of formless substance in the modes of time, and then a protoplasm. Now man himself is mind, and mind is there to gain perfection by experience, and mind is often manifest in the fleshly form, in the form best suited to its growth. So mind may manifest as worm or bird or beast or man. I mean, are you listening to what I'm saying, Noble? Jesus teaches the common people at a spring, tells them how to obtain eternal happiness. Noble, I can go on with the teachings, life and works of Jesus in Egypt amongst the Gentiles, and don't take what I'm saying out of context. That's why I say we must understand what I'm saying, because we don't believe in no fake nothing. If you understand the science, you must be educated on the science, because this is a scientific matter. What we're talking about. And just like in law, it's a language, and a person can take something out of context. I promise you, the ministry of John the Harbinger. So it's just things we must know more. This is training wheel stuff. What I'm speaking is training wheel. We should understand this. Without being upset, we should understand. We should be able to taste the teachings from our teacher, because that's how we learn. Now watch this. I'm gonna show you something else, and then I'm gonna show you some more connecting where people hide stuff from you. But I'm gonna give you all the science. This is why you should want to be under the right auspices. Watch this. Chapter 11, verse 43. If Morris got their Morris Quran, listen to what I say and listen and listen clearly and start connecting things. When I let Morris tell you something, don't let nobody separate you and do some tribal wars on you like we different people. That's some crap. Listen to me. Chapter 11, verse 43 in our Morris Quran. The Hebrew prophet. Who? Who did he just say again? Say it once again more, Brother Bay. Absolutely. The Hebrew prophet is the rising star of wisdom. Let me sip my tea. Once again, let me say again, with a silver tongue, eloquently, in our Morris Quran, chapter 11, verse 43. The Hebrew prophet is the rising star of wisdom, defied. He brings to us a knowledge of the secret things of Allah. Who bring us a knowledge of the secret things of Allah? Who bring it to us? Who bring it to us? Man, y'all better stop playing. Read the science. Start connecting the synchronicity. Don't let nobody get you caught up in no hogwash. And I'm gonna tell you, Hebrew is not your nationality. So don't get it twisted. Don't let nobody don't let no religious person get on their bridge and be like, hear what he said? Yeah, I hope you heard what I said. And then I'm gonna calm you back down too, because Hebrew is not your nationality neither. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. We're talking about a spirituality. We're talking about a belief system. We're talking about the SO and XO. We're talking about two manifestations. Are y'all following the science? What I'm delivering to y'all, Morris? You have to understand the context of what I'm saying. Because if we go out of context, then we start walking on a path that may be icy. The Hebrew prophet is the rising star who is defiled. He brings to us a knowledge of the secret things of Allah. And all the world will hear his words and glorify his name. Who? This Hebrew prophet. You priests of the temple, Kavistu. Who? You priests of the temple, Kavistu. Stay, be still and listen. When he speaks, when who speaks? When he's talking about he. This Hebrew prophet. So, when this Hebrew prophet speaks, he is the living oracle of Allah. Y'all ain't listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Then let me break down to the Nation of Islam. When they get into when I break this science down, when they say they believe in the truth of the Bible, when they believe in the truth of the Bible, but it's been tampered with and it must be interpreted by this elite. I'm telling y'all. But what I don't rock with is when they, I think this their Act 13, when it says, yep, when they Act 13 says, since 1930, Fire Muhammad is the Messiah for the Mahidas, the Muslims, and the Christians since 1930. After who? So you saying after who? This Hebrew prophet died. Who? Our prophet. I'm telling y'all, man. So what I'm showing y'all, Morris, is you've been lied to. Because what I'm showing you is people has picked up the baton, but then buried certain people in a shallow grave and got you caught up in that color of law stuff. Y'all ain't listening to me. Y'all ain't got y'all talking about Hebrew this, Hebrew that. And I said, listen, Hebrew ain't your nationality. Y'all ain't listening to me. I hope y'all connecting these dots, man, and walking with me with your big boots on. I hope you walking with your big boy boots on. Talk to me, man, if y'all connecting this science. Talk to me, Morris. I'm telling you. This is the science, man. And that's why I tell Morris, how can a man say he love God, he don't love man that he see every day? Or you think the great God Allah is that damn selfish? He only gonna make a prophet in one dispensation? You got to be the craziest person in the world. I told y'all, man, only reason why things don't manifest in the right manifestation because people's heart ain't in it. I told y'all, one of the 7 Kemetic principles connotated by Hermetic is the law of attracting. What you attracting? Man, I'm attracting good stuff, man. Why? Because I attracted you and me. Are y'all understanding this science, man? Let's finish. Let's finish. Life and works of Jesus in Egypt among the Gentiles. Jesus' ministry of John and Harbinger. Divine ministry of Jesus goes to the wilderness of self. Pilate's final effort to release Jesus failed. He washes his hands in feigning innocence, delivers Jesus to the Jews of execution. The soldiers drive him to Calvary. Jesus appears fully materialized before Apollo, and the silent brotherhood in Greece appears to Claudius and Juliet on timber near Rome, appears to the priest in the Egyptian temple of Heliophilus. Resurrection of Jesus. Pilate places the Roman seal upon the stone door of the tomb. At midnight, a company of the silent brotherhoods march about the tomb. The soldiers are alarmed. Jesus, which is Yahshua, teaches the spirits in prison. Early Sunday morning, he rises from the tomb. The soldiers are bribed by the priest to say the disciples have stolen the body. I mean, come on, man. Jesus appeared fully materialized to the Eastern sages. To who? The Eastern sages. The Eastern sages. In the palace of the Prince Ravana in India. Where? So when these goofball religious people talk about Jesus didn't study, he traveled the Mediterranean. What? He traveled, correcting the teachings. Just like I'm doing you, connecting the science, man. Are y'all listening to what we saying, man? This is a connection. What I'm saying, the science come from you. Let's finish. The magician priest in Persia, 3 wise men speak in praise of the personality of the Nazarene. Who? Now go in your biblical scripture. It's Acts 24:5. Or I think it's Acts 24:5. I think it's Acts 24:5. And this Hebrew, this Pestilent brother is the ringleader of the Nazarenes. When they're always talking about that lineage. That lineage. I'm telling you, we're going to connect the dots, man. Oh, that sounds like my empress coming in the door. Woo! Baby, everything okay? Yeah. So what you doing? You a little bit at the job? You half? You treading lightly? Oh, babe, we teaching today. We having a great time. You hear me, babe? The holy instructions and warning for all young men. This is what you should be teaching your boys. See, this is what me and my empress be studying all the time. That's why I was like, my empress be asking me at night, like, she like, Brother Bay. She be like, Brother Bay, what should I be studying? And I say, the Quran. And I'm like, you know the Quran more than a lot of brothers that say they under the science and teaching. So long as you study this Quran and you acting the right, huh? It's right here. Nothing. Yeah, I'm just going live. I'm using the science, girl. But the holy instruction warning for all young men. Beware young men. Beware of all allurements of wantonness. wanting this. See, this is stuff we're supposed to be teaching our young men. These are the teachings. When I say what's going on in Sunday school, then one of my elders was like, man, they need to take all the temples down, and just like the churches do, and when they be having one, how can they call it, a minister that go all around and teach them, and they all be subordinate temples. He was like, this is what needs to be done, because the science must be taught. Everything else is garbage. And not let harlot tempt thee to excess in her delights. Marriage instructions for man and wife from the noble prophet Noble Drew Ali. Marriage instructions. Marriage instructions. Give ear, fair daughter of love, to the instructions of prudence, and let the precepts of truth sink deep in thy heart. So shall the charms of thy mind add luster to the elegance of thy form. That's poetry, man. That's poetry. And thy beauty, like the rose it resembled, shall retain its sweetness when its bloom is withered. This is the stuff we telling. This is the marriage vows, the man and wife from our prophet. Duty of a husband. Duty of a husband is right in our teachings. A holy covenant of the Asiatics in chapter 25 of our Moors Quran. Moors, are you listening to me, brother Moors? If y'all rock with me, this is what we must understand. The obedience of children towards our Father. Ye are children of the Holy Covenant. Chapter 25. Ye are the children of one Father. What? Are you listening? Ye are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother hath given you suck. Man, y'all ain't listening to this wisdom. Let the bonds of affection, therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. Man, come on, man. This will resonate in your bosom, man, and speak out. Man, y'all ain't listening to me, man. Man, y'all ain't listening to me, man. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bind us, that bind you and me to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. Huh? If thy brother is an adversary, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not, Moors. So shall the fortness of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other, Moors. Holy instructions of unity. Man, y'all gotta listen to me, man. True wisdom is less presuming than folly. What? True wisdom. Man, come on, man. Listen to this science in our Moors Quran. Chapter 26. True wisdom is less presuming than folly. These wise men doubt often and change his mind. The fool is what? Obstinate and doubt not. He know all things but his own ignorance. The pride of emptiness is an abomination. What's an abomination? Emptiness. And to talk much, what is the foolishness of folly? Nevertheless, Moors, it is the part of wisdom to hear with patience their what? What? Come on, man, talk to me. That impertinence. And to pity their what? Y'all should, come on, man, y'all should be rocking with me. Like, y'all should be, how can I say it's finished in the rhymes. You should be reading right with me. You should have your Moors Quran. The absurdity. Yet be not puffed up in thy own conceit, neither boast of superior understanding. The clearest human knowledge is but blindness and folly. Man, is y'all rocking with this science? That absurd, come on, man. Absolutely. The wise men feel his imperfections and is humble. And when I say humble, that don't mean walking with your head down. That means humble with the wisdom, understanding that knowledge, understanding your duty to fall in humanity. uncivilized. He laboreth in vain for his own what? Or probation. But the fool peeped in the shadow stream of his own mind. That's like, I use the analogy of 1 foot in and 1 foot out. More just piggybacking and not covenant and not jumping in, for we could take this science to the whole nother level. And is pleased with the pebbles, which he sees at the bottom. He brings them up and shows them as pearls, and with the applause of his brethren delight himself. He boasts of attainments and things that are of no worth. But where is a shame to be ignorant? Like Moore's not even ashamed to be ignorant. There he hath no understanding. Even in the path of wisdom, he toileth after folly. So meaning, even if, and so just like I'm using the analogy of rat poison, when these Negroes pack up 5% of truth with 95% of folly, it got to be something to attract you. And shame and disappointment are the reward of his labor. We're in the Aquarian ages, Morris. We should be wise. But the wise man cultivates his mind with knowledge. The improvements of arts is his delight. What you mean the improvements of arts? Well, everything we doing is an art. Your body is an art. How you love is an art. How you love your empress is an art. How you love your Moorish king is an art. How you eat is an art. How you study is an art. Y'all ain't listening to me. Love is an action. Love must exhume out the bosom. It must be real. If I turn the camera on you, girl, you crazy. And their utility to the public crowned with honor. Nevertheless, Moors, the attainment of virtue, he account as the highest learning, and the science of happiness is the study of life, Moors. So, I hope y'all understand that basics of that Moorish Quran. A lot of people don't even understand what I'm saying in the Moorish Quran, right? And especially a lot of my Moors. That's why you must have it's things to go with the Moorish Quran. When I say we teach, man, we teach. I'm not going, but I'm showing you science. This thing you should have to go. We should have our study guide. No, that's how I know a lot of Moors that just be talking. They're not talking about nothing. They just talking. It's things that go with your Quran, for you can get a clear understanding. This, like I said, it's nothing wrong. But I'm a teacher, and I understand. That's why I said, Moors, we must come under the teachings. When I tell Moors, the temple is not the teachings, it's the teacher. Because we can have a body anywhere. I don't give a damn if it's 100 Moors with fez on in a temple that calls it the Moorish Science Temple, and none of them Negroes know nothing, and they all breaking the law. We don't care about that. We gonna change this. The Burning Bush Tabernacle Moorish Science Temple and School. We gonna change this. See, it's things that go with the Moorish Quran that you must understand. You see what I'm saying? And we must be willing to come together and study the teachings together as a body. And we must be studying it at all times, especially this. Like this right here. And like I said, I ain't even went into the third heaven. I got so much of that wisdom, man. We teach this. That's why I said once every more understand what we're doing, and when we take this to the higher plane, when we're going to have something so grand, because we're supposed to. We're supposed to have something grand, because there's enough of us to have it. Where we have the temple out here, we teach, and we have our land, and we build it, and we rocking and rolling. I'm telling y'all, man, and nobody can stop us. And nobody can stop us. Because the laws will protect us, and what we are is a body, and the religious laws protect us, just like every other organization. Y'all ain't listening to me. But this is right here, the silent brotherhood of the East. This is what I be telling us Moors. We must have our science. So nobody can tell you no garbage. You know? Watch this. Chapter 1, life works of Jesus in India. Life works of Jesus in Joseph's house at the age of 7. Life works of Jesus at the age of 10. Jesus walks the rabbi of the 10 commandments. Jesus again, his first year of divine ministry. Jesus presented with his camel, goes to Lahore where he abides. Again, Elihu's lessons, the mysteries of Egypt, the council of the 7 world, opening address of Jesus with the 7 sages, 7 days silence, meeting the 7 sages to make law for the coming of the age. Jesus reveals the marriage law of man and wife from Allah. Jesus explains to Casper the meaning of the silent and the wisdom of Allah. Jesus' holy answer to Lamas. Jesus received the mystic name and number and passes the first adapt chamber. Jesus passes the second brotherhood test, justice. Jesus passed the third brotherhood test, face. Jesus passes the fourth brotherhood test, the brotherhood test. Takes fourth degree of adept, degree of the adept. Jesus passed the 5th adapt degree, heroism. The 6th adapt degree. The 7th, the adapt chamber of the dead, the mysteries of Egypt. The prophet hath finished his task and must go now. Jesus the prophet hath finished his task and must go now to the sons of men with love, divine and peace on earth. Jesus received the news of his father, writes a letter to his mother. And I hope you don't take that out of context. I'm telling you, man. Did I show you all this? Come on, man. That's why I'm telling Morris. It's more than what we know. And this and all this stuff is just training wheel stuff. All this stuff is just training wheel stuff. To where we connect, we gotta correct people. And if you teach in the right way, it's the certain things you should have. So, as I gave y'all that, man, we just jumped in part 1, man. I had to give y'all that because, you know, it is what it is. My noble, we got to going, I got to going, so we'll call that the first part. But I got to give our Moorish American prayer. I'll be remiss if I don't do that. So forgive me, Moorish, for rambling on. I get excited, man, when I talk about that Moorish Quran, Moorish, so forgive me. I mean, because I can go on and on about this, man, about this science right here and this right here. You know, so forgive me for rambling on about our holy book. I tell every Moor they should be passionate about that holy book as well. Just like when I talk about in our Moorish Quran, what is it? What is it, Empress, in our Moorish Quran? What is it, chapter 5, Empress? Watch this. Watch this. Where my Empress? I want to tell y'all. Well, yeah, chapter 5, verse 12. One day as he was bringing forth the tools for work, he said, these tools remind me of the ones we handled in the workshop of the mind, where things are made of thought and where we build up character. Verse 14, we use the square to measure all our lines, to straighten out the crooked places of the way and make the corners of our conduct square. 15, we use the compass to draw the circles around the passions and desires to keep them in the bounds of righteousness. 16, we use the axe, hey love, to cut away the naughty, useless, and ungainly parts and make the characters symmetrical. We use the hammer to drive home the truth and pound it in until it is a part of our every part. We use the plane to smooth the rough, uneven surface of joint and block and board that go to build the temple of truth, right? The chisel, the line, the plummet, and the saw have all their uses in the workshop of the mind. And then this ladder with its trinity of steps, hope, faith, love. On it we climb up the dome of purity and life. Listen to this, Moors, verse 21. And on the 12-step ladder, we ascend until we reach the pinnacle of that which life is spent to build the temple of perfected man. Man, Allah is the greatest, man. Islam, Empress? Come on, baby, talk to me. So watch this. The Prophet warns all Muslims, governors, ordered to read the proclamation at each meeting. Let's dig. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes or in the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. My 2 cents, health and wealth. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Let me get a drink of water. We on part 2. I got to talking and didn't even go in. I was talking about the Moorish Quran. You know what I was asking, dude? I started, don't you? From yesterday.
Yeah. Did you get answer?
He don't. Well, the brother, he got to have the science. I told you. He didn't. No. That's why I said when I ask certain questions as a teacher, I know I don't be coming from a place. My empress always be checking me, y'all. She be always be like, well, whoa. That's why I be getting grilled at home. She be like, okay. She be like, I understand. So once my empress understand, then I know I'm coming to my brothers in love. And you must accept it. If we're going to follow rock and roll. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. And it's all love. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet Moors. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their car button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part. That they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple Moors. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by the order of our prophet Noble Drew Ali. Our Moorish American prayer. Allah, sorry about that. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, Moors. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. So, Moors, I want us to be clear on some things. I'm gonna do like a Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm gonna touch some things. Remember this is the thing we always got to be clear of, man. The context and when we're being educated and how people connotate words and twist things up. And then I say, well, I get their encyclopedias and their encyclopedias to tell you exactly who they are. But it's a wordplay, and you must understand linguistics. How when their encyclopedias, they'll tell you exactly who a Jew is, and then turn around and throw Hebrew in it. So you must be a linguistic to dig with the science. And that's why I said scholars, real scholars, no matter if they white, black, orange, purple, gray, we study from a different book, and we study from the archives to where it's peer reviewed. But anyway. In the context, Moors, when people try to, how can I say, if you don't understand science and linguistics, a person to try to whitewash you out and implement themselves and use a religion and use that religion as, how can I say it, their nationality. Like for instance, when I was in college, when my professor, a lot of the Jewish students, the Europeans, they try to talk about they Jews and talk about Ephraim. And they try to say they're Ephraim, but Ephraim is not a religion. And so as I demonstrated that in one of my dissertations, a lot of the European Jews were upset because a lot of things were just tradition, but it's no disrespect. I use their books to show exactly what it is. And a lot of times they don't read. They just get things passed down as tradition, just like a lot of misnomer Negro, blacks, and coloreds. It is what it is. But anyway, in our context, when we talk about Jews and Israelites and the biblical scriptures, the Israelites, the children of Israel, are the chosen people of God, when people talk about those things and blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to stay all into that aspect of it. What I want to say is that not to be confused of languages and not let nobody get you caught up in taking a belief system and a way of thought as a nationality. When you can clearly get into the 1828 dictionary, it says the American is the copper colored races found here by the European. Now, before we even jumping all up and be like all excited, we must understand that that's general. That's not specific. So if the 1828 Webster Dictionary says the American is the copper colored racist, and then we have to start breaking that down and say, okay, well, what's the copper colored race nationality? And see, it's things that must be answered. So when brothers try to get you caught up in that religion talk, when a brother say, I'm a Hebrew or I'm an Israelite, I say, I hear you and I love you. But I said, we must understand law too. And you being a Hebrew or Israelite is not your nationality per se, Morris, when we're dealing with law. And that's why I never get in a scientific or a legal conversation with a person that only read the Bible. You wasting your time because they're coming from a religious perspective, and I don't have time with with nobody belief system. That's not what I'm here to do. So when we talk about nationality, Hebrew is a language. Just like when you look in the encyclopedia, when people say, well, I'm Jewish, and I say, you're not, that don't mean nothing. You just believe in Judaism. I mean, they speak Yiddish, they speak all them languages, but you're not the people where the science originated from. And it's just a thing, and I'm paraphrasing. But Hebrew per se is a language, but the Hebrew faith is a way of life and not a nationality or religion. I just told you, I just broke that down in the science. And the Hebrew Israelites is not a nationality. Our nationalities are held by the table of nations and are determined by the seed of the father and the fathers by our tribal origin. When I say we are next in our Bay and our L, we must understand that. Our nationalities, therefore, are Israelites of whatever descending tribe. I'm telling y'all, man, we gotta get this down. But our nationality, y'all ain't listening to me, man. I hope y'all just understand that little breakdown that I just gave us, because I don't want us from today. I don't want us to be going on confusing things, separating ourselves, and let people separate us as a people. When I say one nationality, many cultures, right? So let's dig with a little bit of science, and then we're gonna proceed, because we got a little time. Let me see. So can I blow this up? Okay, well, here we go. But what we got to understand, man, when Moors don't understand, we talk about the Indians and the Hebrews and all this Islamic this, and when we talk about all this, it's just a lack of knowing global history. You know what I mean? And pre-slavery history and blood lineage. That Afrocentric and a Moorish American, that difference is that an individual who claimed to be a so-called black or Afro-American Moorish claims to be from the region known as Africa today and calls that what? Specific continent their own. And they cannot tell you what country, region, flag, tribe, or blood lineage of Africa, of the East, that the individual belonged to. And a lot of them mention Egypt, Ethiopia, Sudan, maybe North Africa, all this. But Moorish Americans, as we understand the entire eastern part of the world, we understand it's northern and southern Africa, Moors, and the entrance, or the entire western part of the planets, are northwestern and southwestern Africa. So from a Moorish perspective, the Americas is ancient Africa or Maxima, and the West Hemisphere is where the Moors and the Moabites inhabited the continental, where we inhabited things, Moors, right? Before that shift, before that so-called breakup. That's why when we understand black is an adjective, not a nationality or blood lineage. And black is also a second-class citizen status, category by law. When we talk about law, since there is no such thing as a black or white person on earth. You got to read what black, the status, what we talk about status Moors. So when you have people put on cards, Afro-American and West Indian and all this crazy stuff, all false nationalities and all this stuff. Moorish American satisfies the jus soli and the jus sanguinis. Research those two terms in law. The jus soli and the jus sanguinis Moors. Research those law terms, please. Research those two law terms, and then you'll follow what I'm saying. And many people speak about doing blood tests and these so-called genealogy things. But the oldest blood type in the world is O type, where all blood types come from. And the O blood type is indigenous to the Americas and Australia, Moors. Therefore, everyone on the planet should be doing a blood test to see if they are related to the ancient ones in the Americas, North Central, South America, Caribbean islands, Alaska, Canada, Greenland. If we're going to teach the science from a scientific perspective, but in the Moors' perspective of history, Moors, the Egyptians were the Moors, Moabites, relatives. So the Moors and the Egyptians always shared a family tie, Moors. And in history, the Moors and the Moabites and the Egyptians shared many unions and wars, but was still a family tie was known. Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali was an Egyptian adept and returned many Egyptian mystery system keys back to us Moorish Americans. So, of course, with Abdul Hamid Solomon, also Deuce Muhammad, also Angelo Solomon, you know? Brought the science to America. And when it comes to the Hebrew Israelites and the Moorish Americans, Moors, there's no debate. There's no debate. I'm telling you, when you get with these, when you let these people come, when it comes to this Hebrew and this Israelite and this Moorish American thing, there's no debate. You should let nobody get you caught up in that garbage. Moors, Moabites are Hebrews. I'm gonna say this emphatically with a silver tongue. Moors, Moabites are Hebrews. Moabites were Hebrews before Jacob and the 12 tribes. When we talk about the science Moors, Abraham is a sixth generation so-called Hebrew. The Moabites, the eighth generation Hebrews. When you look in your 1828 Webster Dictionary, research Eber, E-B-E-R. Research Eber, the children of Eber, E-B-E-R. Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Hebrew prophet, just like I am. The Moorish holy, what you looking for, your charger? You need it?
Not if you do.
I'm using it.
Okay.
The Moorish Holy Quran mentions a Hebrew a few times that the science is shown in the Moorish one-on-one questions. I'll be telling Moors, you must have your one-on-ones. Which is why the Moorish Science Temple of America, what we talk about, we push the ancient Hebrew laws that deals with freedom, birthrights, and nationality in the constitutional law. And why Moors are Hebrew Muslims of the Moorish descent by nature. Just like in my Healthy Eating and Living book, I got our diet in our book. We under the Hebrew diet. Ask any more. Our diet is a Hebrew diet, which is a biblical diet. Don't let nobody lie to you. Moorish Americans, we have a religion called Islamism. And our Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought a distinct form of Islam known as Islamism and the science of peace. When I tell Moors, Islam not to, I'm a Moor. Islam don't mean no damn submission to me. This ain't no European Christianity or no Islam. Islam to me means peace. In Moorish science, because I connect myself to the great God. Moors, we have our own holy book. We have our own holy book. This right here, the Moorish Quran. This is our holy book. Yeah, I got the book of Yasher over there. I got all of them. The book of Yasher. And the Bible said, didn't you read this in the book of Yasher? When I talk about prereqs, when the person like, what's a prereq? I say a prereq is something, before you even touch that, it tell you, didn't you read this in the book of Yasher? Absolutely. I got the book of Yasher. I used to send them out to all students. I lectured on that in college campus. Had the professors like, oh my God, we never had that. The book of omens, all that. Like, oh my God, yeah, I know. the Moorish Holy Quran, but we use the Quran of Muhammad as well as the Bible, and we use the Bible. The Quran itself shows that a prophet is brought up amongst the people, amongst their own. So no Islamic group should have a problem. No Islamic group should have a problem. Why? Because the prophets in your Quran, it said a prophet comes from amongst the people. That's who. So there ain't no prophet coming looking like not like you. That don't make no sense. That ain't according to the text. That's how I check people. I'm like, not according to our text. Just like somebody said, you got to turn to the east. Not according to our text. Only somebody, those are man-made things. Only person need direction is somebody that's lost. Y'all better talk to me. Mom, do you hear me? I don't need no directions if I ain't lost. Y'all ain't listening to me. Y'all ain't listening to me. Our Prophet Noble Ali came in the scene in 1913, teaching Islamism. So anyone in other Islamic groups would just need to know what perspective a Moorish American is coming from. I'm a Moorish American. You got to understand what the perspective I'm coming from, which is why we deal with Islamism, the old time religion. And we are Muslims, not Muslims per se. I got them all, man. I give you a whole look. The Book of Gad and Seer, when you get those religious, them Islam Muslims, and I get the Book of Gad and Seer, and I break that down, and they don't have nothing to say about the Book of Gad and Seer. When they talk about that, when they talk about that replacement theology, Christianity and Al-Islam, they books testify it. It ain't. And then I show you in the Bukhari Hadith how they changed the pen, how it talks about how it names all Muhammad black slaves. So you can't be mad at me. So-called black Indians, indigenous natives are confused in tribal, kingdom, national, and empire points of view when they disagree with the Moorish Americans. And the founder of the Moorish movement was a Cherokee Moor, and he did not erase his Cherokee roots. When I tell Moors, ain't nobody stripping you of your culture. Hold on, I gotta grab something. Hold on. All right, we got a little bit more to go, man. My empress said I can finish. Any book you want, I'll get it for you, man. I got them. After everything is over. But our prophet didn't erase his roots. I know where I'm from. Like, I know where my family from. Abyssinia. We know this. We don't erase our roots. But we proclaiming our Moorish nationality. And anyone who has American tribal ties will keep their tribal ties. For no one can erase anyone's ancestral ties, Moors. But we're talking about international law, nationality and jurisdiction and political status is what is needed to learn and understand within current governmental constructions. And all the so-called Native American, the Indians, have a Moorish or a Mobile connection anyway, Moors. And the Moorish Mobile history is the Americas go back before the continent split apart. And this is just basics what I'm giving you all to show the education or the re-education that we need to understand what our prophet was teaching, what he brought, and what he demonstrated by the learned and properly guided Moorish Americans who know that we have more in common with all the conscious groups and organizations than differences. And our Prophet Noble Ali came and tied in all the African or the Kemetic and the Egyptian and the Hebrew and the Islamic. We talk about that United of Asia. The connections all in one because it began as one. And we're scattered today amongst each other when we are like tribal war with each other. So we must go back to this universal teaching, Moors. We must unite. We must. And there's no other way. I'm just going to give y'all a little bit because I'm almost done. I'm going to touch on 2 more subjects so we can know things. I'm going to give y'all a code of what ancients, that's why people, especially when people be posting books, I'll be like, man, and when they be talking about, oh yeah, I got Dr. B in books and I got this, and I'm like, okay, so a lot of this stuff been done. So more, let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all know the E1B1A Hebrew Israelite? Y'all know what I'm talking about when I talk about the E1B1A, Moors? The E1B1A. And this when I started having conversation with all my brothers that be talking about, oh, they Israelite, this, and that, and the other. I say, okay, I know all the science, and I rock with it. I rock with the science. But when it comes to law, I'm not going to get no discussion about no law with no person that just really read no religious Bible. I'm not going to waste my time with that. I'm just going to try to illuminate something and show you like, hey, man, I'm not here to disagree with you. But if you calm down a little bit, you'll understand what I'm saying. And maybe you can be illuminated on something, you know? But do we know what the E1B1A, what I'm speaking of, Morris? Yes or no? Hey, Empress, I need some I need some libations. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Yes or no, Morris? And can I get some out of there some cranberry juice I got in my room? All right, no. Yeah, I want some water too, but I want some cranberry juice too. All right, let's dig. The original Moors who went around doing all the conquering were nothing more than the Ishmaelites. Y'all ain't know that? Say it with me, y'all. Ishmaelites. Yes, Empress. Say it with me, y'all. Say Ishmaelites. That's right, Empress. Ishmaelites. Before all that so-called mixed race and all that, no disrespect, blood mixing with Berbers and many other ethnic groups. People either seem to forget who may simply not know that before their designation was changed to Arab, that Moriso denotes the land, the region they spread to and inhabited. They were called Ishmaelites originally, and they were black per se, or Negroid-looking people. So it gives a whole new meaning to the derogatory term when they talk about sand niggas. You hear me, Empress? I know you have. A lot of people don't be knowing when we talk about sand niggas. Y'all hear me, Morris? Y'all ain't listening. Huh? Yeah, listen to me. Watch me break the science down. Because Ishmael's dad, Abraham, was black, and his mom, Hagar, was also black Egyptian. So quite naturally, Ishmael was black as well. Remember when I tell you all about Amos? Remember I tell y'all it's a book out the Bible called a book about the story of Aneth and the book of story of Aneth and Joseph. Research that. It's the book they took out the Bible. They try to talk about they found it. They ain't found nothing, man. We went through this, man. I broke so much stuff down when they tried to talk about, oh, they just found it. They ain't just found nothing. And I got a whole bunch of old books that they try to take out the Bible. You know? So quite naturally, Moors, they made what? 12 babies. I know it is. That's why I tell y'all, the science, we ain't talking about nothing new. That's why I tell a person, if you study, I keep telling more, it's the science. I connect all the science. I synchronize all the science. This is the science is the teaching. And I'm telling you, I'm here to give you the science. They made 12 babies. Don't it sound familiar? 12 black babies per se. And formed the little, talked about what? The 12 tribes of Ishmael. I know. On Django, that's right. That's right. Who the Most High said he would make a great nation. And the term Blackmore is in what? Oxymoron. Blackmore is an oxymoron. And the same as Black Hebrew Israelite. Why, you may ask me? Because it's a known historic fact that these people were black. So there is no need to annotate their ethnic makeup as black, because it's a given that they were. And the so-called Arab Muslims played a huge role in the so-called transatlantic slave trade of the Hebrew Israelites. Y'all hear me? Will you get that, Mom? Will you get that, Mom? Oh, the door. Oh, I thought you heard. So after they tell you about the Roman in the wilderness for some time, if they tell you the story, and his mother settled in the desert, Ishmael's mother settled in the desert of Parana, where he became an expert in archery. His mother found him a wife for the land of Egypt. They had 12 sons who each became tribal chiefs throughout the region of Havilah, Havilah. I'm going to tell y'all the story. That's right. To Sur, Hur, from Assyria to the border of Egypt, his sons were Ishmaelite descendants. Neboith, Nebioth. Kedar, father of the Kedarites, a northern Arab tribe that controlled the area between the Persian Gulf and the Sinai Peninsula. And according to tradition Moors, he is ancestor of Quraysh, Quraysh, the Quraysh tribe, and thus of the Islamic prophet Muhammad. Abdil established a tribe in northwest Arabia. Mipsham, Mishma, Dua, Masa, father of a nomadic tribe that inhabited the Arabian desert toward Babylonia. Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Nephish, Kidmia. Dr. Bean wrote about that when we talk about the child of Israel in the genealogy record. 1 Chronicles 9:1. The Y-DNA, the haplotype, the E1, B1, A1, A, lowercase a, 1, F1, A1, the tribe of Ephraim, of Joseph, the house of Joseph. Remember I told y'all when I was in class and the European was like, we're Ephraim. And I said, no, you're not, just because you believe in a religion, no disrespect. I come from love. I come to correct the teachings. And my professor was like, wanting me to do it. He was like, if you can correct the teaching from love with scholarship, and that's my profession. Right? So, see, we didn't even look, Empress, see, I'm almost done. Let me see, do I got something for y'all more? Something else, I think I'm done. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, my back, babe. What's wrong with you? Hurt your elbow? All right, Morris. So, I left y'all with that science. I don't want to talk about native. I want to get no deeper in it because that's just that. I think I'm gonna be done. So, any questions, Moya? Any questions? We went in for an hour and 30 minutes. That's enough. Any questions? Any questions, Morris? Your body like, nope. Nope. Man, I got a lot of holy books, man, that get you in your higher self, man. Huh? What'd you say? I know. Like, look, like I told you, I'm gonna show y'all some stuff. When one guy was asking me when I talk about the zodiac and the sauce of salvation, when one of my professors, he was like, man, he was like, the science you keep, he was like, what you say, your body crystal clear. He was like, where you get that science from? And I just say it's things that we should know and how we synchronize the teachings. Like I say, I got a lot of ancient wisdom, you know, that I use. Like right here, when people think this just about smoking weed, when you see this right here, the cannabis Christ, y'all know what this is right here, y'all? Y'all know what this is? Y'all see this right here? Ooh, this fire right here, man. This that fire right here, y'all. Y'all hear me? This that good strand. That's that good strand. I'm telling you, everything's synchronized. When I start breaking that sign, when we start getting into the third heaven, when I start breaking that secretion down, you know. This high science about one of our prophets in the flesh, Haile Selassie, the King of Kings, the Keeper of the Gods. I'm telling you, man, a lot of stuff. I told y'all I'm gonna introduce y'all to a lot of science, man. It's a lot of stuff that I have, I promise you. And I'm just saying, it's a lot of science that I'm gonna have Moors have. And all Moors got to do is donate and get the science. Be like, oh, I need that. I'm like, this donation, send this in as you get it. Coming forth from you, the holy place of the Most High. This is right here. This is the cannabis matrix. Yeah, this is the cannabis matrix, the Shihat appendix. Ionis the composer. Y'all see this? The word will touch the divine in you for those who seek to know more about His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie, the one, or I, known as Abba Kudus. Then find the way to the African Zion and seek the book called the Book of the Seven Seals. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all the Book of the Seven Seals. Y'all know what you're looking at? I told y'all signs and symbols of the primordial man. Man, I can take you so high to the third heaven, man. That's why I say when we get to teaching this science, and when we get to going deep in these teachings, when we obey all the laws and the prophets. And I tell Moors, how can you say, and when I tell Moors, how can you say you love God and you never seen God and you hate man and you see him every day? When they have pictures, when we start synchronizing our science. When I start showing you what Haile Selassie did in Ethiopia, the table of consonants, when you take a deeper look at the role of Christ's sacrifice, the black lord of karma, cannabis, the tree of knowledge of the good and evil, the Masonic allegory between the Matrix trilogy, the Cishat appendix. Man, are y'all listening to me? The Father, the Son, the mind, the Holy Spirit, the body, the union. When we talk about, when the religious people talk about that David Star, that ain't no David Star. That's this right here. That's this science right here. Y'all see that science? Talk to me, Moors. Talk to me. Talk to me. Yeah, Noble. I'm telling you, I connect all of it because we are adepts, man. We don't play around with this science. This is science. I'm not going to get all into it, but I just want to show more of how I connect the science and its synchronicity. And your adept, which is your Abba, your teacher, supposed to be able to synchronize these sciences. I'm telling you, it's science in here, and I deal with the science. I don't deal with nobody craziness, you know. So I don't want to divulge too much in this. Let me see. I wanted to show y'all something though. I wanted to show you a picture of something. When I show you Hebrew cannabis, when a lot of writings, when I'm gonna start revealing things, I'm gonna show you old writings. Would you say it's raising hairs on your arms, James? It's supposed to. Y'all see this cannabis right here? Y'all see that? What that say? That's that Hebrew cannabis, man. I'm telling you, that's why when families say, man, we looking for God, and they say the Messiah come from amongst your brother or your sister. It's the teachings. That's it right there. That's that Hebrew. That's that cannabis. Yeah, y'all saw that. Let me show y'all something else. The 12 manner of fruit. Read Revelations 22 and 2. Read Revelation 22 and 2. I'm just showing y'all something. I can't stay in it because we just gonna jump around. We're gonna tiptoe. Because I want y'all to become students, man. Help me build this temple. Help me build this temple. We're gonna teach. Look at this. An ancient Egyptian cannabis physician. Listen what I said. An ancient Egyptian cannabis physician. Did you hear me, Isis? An ancient Egyptian cannabis physician shown with the jana pipe and a table of a type of herbal shoe bread. You remember in the Bible about the shoe bread? You know what they talk about? Bread of the presence. And then when you see reading the biblical scriptures, they be in there lighting the incense and they be inhaling. Oh man, they getting them good vapors. They getting them good herbal vapors. And only the priest can enter the temple. Y'all ain't listening. Y'all ain't listening. Y'all ain't catching the science. It's the science in this, man. I'm telling you, everything is an art. And you must be educated on the art. I'm telling you, man. What did I say SESHAT mean, y'all? Mama, do you know what do you know what that means? Ain't nobody broke it down yet. And look, let me show you something, Isis. Y'all should be, watch this, y'all. Watch this. I've been showing y'all the marijuana plant, right? Schista glyph. It's clearly in Mariana. It's a leaf called cannabis. I'm going to show you the leaf, right? In the glyph. You see the glyph? You see the leaf in the glyph? Yeah. Now watch this. SESHAT. Shasta or Schista, known as the cannabis goddess, an ancient personification of the biblical and Hebrew Chokmah or Chokmah, CHOKMAH, the Greek Sophia, or wisdom. Y'all ain't listening to me. Y'all ain't listening to me. Talk to me, man. Come on, man. Oh, man, y'all ain't listening to me, man. Ow. See, this science where we connected, where we don't do things for play. We connected. Nothing we do is for play. Nothing we do is for play. And if you understand what you're about, you understand it. Shasta, great lady of the house of books, also known as the Shifet Abwa, the silicon goddess, the glass cat, and our lady of mathematics. Among the inner sphere, super intelligence, there exists an archetype attractor. Schista providing a shared interface to trans-singularity, mathematical and national understanding. Matthew 11 and 19, the Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a wine bitter, a friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom is justified of her. Y'all ain't listening to me, man. I'm telling you, because it's the science. I tell you, it's the ancient teachings. That's why I told y'all. One of my elders was like, man, if you was back then, you would be teaching back right with them. He was like, that's why people don't understand where you're coming from. I am the seven petals. You are. That's what I be telling more. I don't understand what they looking at. The teachings is right here. I give the teachings. This is illumination. I illuminate it. The name Shasta or Shista or Shishat means the female scribe. Shista means scribe. She was an architect, building by the measurement of the sacred geometry. She wears a leopard skin dress. I know. The symbol over her head is a 7-pointed star or a Rosetta above. What Rosetta? The Rosetta Stone. Y'all ain't listening. Which is a pair of introverted cow horns, suggesting a what? A crescent moon. Talk to me, Moors. Talk to me, Moors. Y'all see that science? Man, do y'all see that science, man? This is the best education your kid gonna get, you gonna get anywhere. This trump any pseudo academia. I promise you, man. How I know? Because I done been in the fire. The tree of life. What y'all think they talking about? Huh? They just keeping you away from it. What you think you looking at? Moors don't even understand science and symbols. Yep. All that. And the brain, all that. All that. The Schista is the feminine consort, counterpart, wife, child of thought. Describe he who wrote the story or the program of humanity's journey through time. She is a magician, as is Isis, Thoth, and Hermes. Shishai bore the title Egyptian fairy godmother. Her magic wand with its seven-pointed star. You see the science? Was the symbol which represented the source of all creative ideas, consciousness, her powers of cause and effect for any affectation were legendary before the founding of ancient Egypt, the first colony of primordial Ethiopia. Eden, Genesis 2:13. The pyramid text reference Shista as the female scribe and the lady of the house. Nephites is also referred to in the pyramid text as Shishat, foremost of builders. Some call Shishat the Egyptian goddess of the dead, daughter of Gib and Nut, sister of Isis, Osiris, and Seth. And according to the tradition, she was also the mother of Anubis by Osiris. Y'all ain't listening to this science, man. Huh? Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I connect all the science. Don't let nobody lie to you, man. The true sons of God, I can get all in it, but I don't want to stay in it because I must proceed. Here we talk about the seven seals. Here we go talk about the seven seals, y'all. Ooh, this that fire. This that fire right here, man. I'm telling you. This what they keep away from y'all because they're not adepts. They plan. When I show you all about our Kemetic principles and my Sufism and the triple roll of the adapt chamber, when I take it all the way back and be like, man, this all synchronicity. It's our science. That's the Kaaba of Allah. When I talk about the Baphomet, it's spelled Kabbalistically. Ain't nothing scary about the Baphomet. It means Temp, Hope, Abba, mean Temple of David. I'm telling you, man, nothing scary. Nothing scary. It's your science. You just away from it. Look at the pentagram. Well, let me break some scientific science down. Oh man, boy. Hey, Isis, can you give me 2 books, please? My IDMR books, because this. You see how I'm just synchronizing? No, them two little old books that got the man on it. It's the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research. Now watch this. After I connect these dots, I'm gonna be done. Watch this, y'all. This what you should understand. I think it might be in that glass right there, Ma, in the front. Yeah, it might be there sitting up top. So watch this, y'all. Watch how we connect this science and we done. So remember how we connect science, and I tell y'all about signs and symbols. And I tell you, true Islam is connecting yourself and God and man. When we talk about Elohim, when I start breaking these charts down, when I start taking you to the third heaven. But in this, the seventh seal, the practical occult experience. Remember, don't be afraid of occult. The prayer of the 7 seals, the basic Kabbalah training, the Kabbalic cross, the lesser pentagram banishing ritual, middle pillar exercise, the tree of life chant, universal mechanisms or mechanics, universal mechanics and spirits, the arbitrail of magic, Olympic systems or Olympic signs and symbols, element work. What I'm telling you, I'm breaking a lot of inner science down. But the 7 virtues and the 7 vices, the 14 strings, pulling the morality of our own human ego. We are not empty, but filled with thoughts, currents, and memories. And we are always subject to the outside manifestations of what resides inside of us. And we may develop great power, but we can achieve our goals only by becoming responsible of our inner thoughts. So the 7 seals, Moors, is a metaphor of the occult tools we can aspire to develop as a human, but also as a spiritual being. By observing nature, specifically human nature, we have become masters at understanding how we work inside our mind, but also have we become adepts at hiding ourselves from the truth. And the power there is truth. Engulfed in this truth, we cease to be simple human animals. We become filled with the essence that composes the whole of the universe. So what I want to show y'all, Moors, is I want to give you a little introduction, and then we're gonna move forward. Cause I want to show y'all something. Because we educate, man. Man, I can show y'all all this mathematics, man. where it'll just blow your mind, and I can show you how your body is connected to everything. When I talk about that knowledge, order, rhythm, astronomy, astrology, nature, but I want to show you something. This is one of my dad's favorite books, man. When we talk about the science. Hold on, let me see. Let me see, can I find it? Let me see, can I find something? And more, y'all can get this science from me, man. We're going to go through it. You know it. You see this right here, Morris? Look at that. Look at the man. You see the man? You see it? You see how he's standing? I showed you the cannabis Christ too. I'm about to show you, and then watch. And I'm gonna top it off with my third head with some of my idea of Mars science, and we're gonna wrap it up. You see that? In my book, Sufism and the Triple Rose, I'll show you that. The pentagram is a 5 penta, a point image or a gram. The pentagram made out of one continuous line with 5 equal angles. It calls upon the force of the 5th Sephirot, or the Gubra, the strength and the concept of movement and action. Therefore, it's used in rituals to initiate the action of the operation. The call for a movement of energy. It is represented in your hand with 5 fingers. But most of all, it is represented in our body with your 5 extremities. When we talk about arm, leg, arm, head, 2 legs, 2 arms, and your head. The pentagram with 1 point pointing up and 2 pointing down is the symbol of what? The virtuous man. Are y'all following me? The virtuous man. Using this symbol will encourage you to imitate the virtuous and expand your consciousness in your actions. The pentagram can also be reversed to symbolize the falling man, or that being. It has 2 points pointing up and only 1 pointing down. It is mostly used by unconscious, uninformed black mages, and does not really promote expansions of consciousness. I hope y'all follow me. Depending on the direction of the pentagram. Just like with Hitler, we all think it's the swastika, how he turned it a simple way. He tried to take that science, the energy, but we know what it's about. But the direction of the pentagram energy flow, it is either summoning, of banishing, inviting, or pushing away. It is the lower earth banishing pentagram ritual. We are starting from the earth point, the lower left, and doing clockwise movement to the up point, then the lower right, the left point, then the right point, and the finishing at the beginning, at the lower left. Are y'all following this science, what I'm saying? This is a clockwise movement, and it banishes. It starts at the earth point, so it banishes lower dense energies. That in the military, you walk a certain way, man. You walk a certain way. See, when we talk about that demons, and we ain't talk about nothing spooky on TV, we talk about inside, and that ghost are usually afraid of this banishing pentagram. In so-called rituals, you will be asked to draw the pentagram in the midair with your finger. See, I can take you to all those spots. When I show you the pentagram, you understand the reverse pentagram and all that. When we talk about the spirit at the top, we go down to the middle, the fire. Over here is the air, water, earth, spirit, fire, air, water, earth. Spirit, fire, air, water, earth. So when you invoke the pentagram in your rituals, per se, you must see it clearly in your mind and put that energy into you. Man, I can go deeper with the teachings, but I don't want to, because I don't want to go too deep, but that's it. And so, when I talk about this right here, now this right here, Morris, this right here, when I say Aya Asha Aya, when I say I will be what I will to be, when I talk about man was made in the image of Elohim, when I break down signs and symbols, when we get out that all that other how can I say it? When people be confusing the two and not connecting yourself to God, lineage, you connect yourself to mortal man, and I say you have lost all sense if you ain't connect yourself to the fathers of civilization, who they write about and who they want to portray to be. Y'all ain't listening to me. And I'm not even going to jump in the teachings with these, because we have to, we'll be long. But I want to show y'all that man was made in the image of Elohim, man. And we don't get caught in no garbage. Any questions? Look, let me show y'all some scientific stuff. What I be talking about when I don't get things twisted. When we talk about the skeletal system and the pattern. Listen, the bones which comprise the skeletal system are the most durable part of the human torso, and the skeletal remains of the human and animals have been excavated long after the flesh remains have deteriorated. Furthermore, Moors, when these bony remains are correctly assembled, they form a bodily configuration. But what I'm saying, Moors, is another biblical reference to the bones is that of Eve being formed out of the body after a deep sleep had engulfed him. Think about, I'm connecting the science so you don't get caught up in the spookism. So we got to say that when Adam was created out of the dust of the earth, it plainly states that in the Bible that Elohim breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and he became a living soul. Genesis 2:7. But when the woman Eve was formed from the rib of man, what they say, Adam, no reference is made to her possessing a soul. So when we break this science down, man, the bones that Adam referred to signified the incorporeal body or soul. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying, incorporeal, but I'm getting too deep. Most Moors don't know what I'm saying. We'll have to teach that later. I don't want to get too deep. But you see the body and the structure of things. I don't want to get too deep in that, because I know I'll lose a lot of Moors where I'm going. And we have to be educated on things, and we must be willing to be students. That's the only way. That's the only way they're going to get to understand. And understand this science comes from within. And then I teach law. And law is law. Like, look what I be talking about when it's all the body. You see this? Look at that. Look what you think you're looking at here. When I talk about the hippocampus, your brain. I connect these teachings, man. If we talk about Islamism, we study Islamism, God and man is one. Well, let me see you connect yourself and your body to what's above. Let me see you connect. Let me see you do that from the teachings and understand it and stand on your teachings. When I talk about signs and symbols and certain things. So any questions, Moors? I'm done, man. Yeah, that's Pinel. That's right. I break all this stuff down, man. And these are the teachings. When people be wanting to hide stuff from you, this is the stuff I grew up in. When I say I grew up in Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research, where I got charts, everything. We connected our body to man. This is what Noble Drew Ali knew. What Noble Drew Ali did is went and got that international law and connected who we are, our nationality and our spirituality, which made us a complete fifth. But the science is ancient and the law is ancient, and that's what's connected to freedom. And I'm telling you, and I teach this science, man, this stuff is old. But like I said, man, that's it. Any questions, man? I'm done. Any questions, Moors? Like I said, I ain't even get all into the teachings. But that's it for today. Thanks for the donations too, man. Any questions? We got what, 10 minutes for questions if we got any? I told Moors I got my own print press. I'll print everything up for donations. I got a print press. That's what I tell Moors. Everything come from me for a donation. I'm a real organization. If Moors serious, all you got to do is hit me up. I have them. That's what I tell Moors. You don't have to get nothing from no Amazon. I have them. Everything from me is from a donation. You get a taxes and receipt at the end of the year. I'll print them on my print press. But right now, a lot of stuff shut down, so I'm not going there. But just be patient. I tell Morris, when you become a student, man, you get a lot of stuff. But I print a lot of stuff on my print press. We ask for donations, and we're going to build this temple, man. We're going to have so many more under our auspices, man, studying real science. That's what it's about, man. It's about us coming together. When I say we use this internet as our network, we have a base out here. We have subordinate temples where it's 10 to 20 more in the area, and we go satellite from there. We come and have our meetings every year. Man, we can do whatever we want. But I got a whole library, Morris. That's why I tell Morris that if they be students, if Morris be students and let the teacher teach, everything that you need, I'll get it to you. All the books you will need, the higher science, you'll have it because you're going to go through the science. And those that don't want to go through the science, I'm going to know that. I'm going to know that. That's why I encourage everybody to be students. And that's why I be saying a lot of people can have books, but the books don't teach you. I promise you. I guarantee you, books are just books. You got to remember, just like alcohol. Alcohol is no good unless it get into the vessel. Some people can handle it. Some people can't. So books, it just can be books. You can read things and nothing happen. So with things that we must do in synchronicity, especially holy books, because it's just not one, it takes a body. It takes many parts to make a complete body. And we can do this, man. Very simple. And support this movement. I'm almost done, Empress. I'm just asking a couple questions.
Questions?
Yeah. Why? What's up? Everybody staring at me like I got $1 million. I wish. Any questions, Morris? Yep, I'll wait a couple of minutes. Like I said, I'm always willing to ask a couple of questions for Morris. I'm not in a rush. We'll see if any more ask anything, y'all. Everybody good? As soon as we get the clearance, man, we're gonna be shipping everybody books and fezes out. Like I tell everybody, just be patient. Y'all got everything, man. All you gotta do is become a student. I can show you how to become a student. When I tell Morris, the one thing we don't like to talk about is our finances and our health. Become a student, like I tell Morris, it's only $5 a day for 52 days. That'll fulfill your one-time membership fee, your pledge. What you get is your fez, your turban, and you get all 7 books. $100 membership due. $100 membership due, which is $5 a day for 20 days, and that help us. We're gonna have this physical temple out here. Now we got all that Kundalini, man. We teach all that. We do all the Kundalini. The Kundalini is your chakra. All that. See, a lot of people think. See, this is the thing about when I talk about false teaching. When I tell Morris, it's only one chakra that activate all of them. It's inbox me and I'll send you our syllabus and enrollment package. My email is goodmancaree@gmail.com. GOODMAN Caree@gmail.com. And I email you our syllabus. And I email you the syllabus. Everything with me is tax exempt. You get a tax exempt receipt at the end of the year. And I'm gonna walk you systematically. And I'm telling you, at the end of the year, we're gonna have our big conference out here in Arizona or Vegas. And like I said, one time a year, I'm hoping all more is donate 1,000 when we come with this plan. One time a year, we giving $100 a month, 100 more, man. That's 120,000 tax exempt dollars. We can have our nice temple and continue to build. We can do this. Very simple. We don't have to talk about no churches or what nobody else doing. Why? Because we have the same laws and everything protect us. We can do the same thing they are doing, but righteous. Why? Because the laws protect us. Any other questions? Any other questions, man? Just like I broke down the stolen legacy, only a couple more PDF for the science. I said I got the science. If you don't have the book Stolen Legacy, you should have it, man. I told Moore, send a little $20, $25 donation. Why wouldn't you want it? You can have it and read it. A couple more got it, like, I gotta have it. He was like, nope, I got to have it. He like, I'd rather donate to you. And I tell every Moore, you get a taxes and receipt at the end of the year. Any questions? We a real movement, man. Like I told Morris, there's gonna be a lot of people that just watching and be like, man, the Noble was saying it all and they did it all. And everybody gonna be like, yeah, what you mean? It's simple. It's simple mathematics. We gotta trust something, cause can't nobody hustle me and I ain't here to hustle you. We here to do something, man, and the laws protect us. Any other questions, man? Any other questions, man? We almost done, Morris. I answer any questions y'all got real fast, man. As long as it's respectable and on science. I told Morris I don't have time to be. I don't have time to debate about nobody's religion. That ain't what I'm about. So any other questions, Morris? Huh? Oh yeah. All you got to do is send me an email with goodmankary@gmail.com, GOODMANKHARY@gmail.com, and I will send you a copy of the syllabus and an enrollment package. And I know it's trying times right now, believe me. That's why I said we family, we talk about things. That's why I say everybody can be a member and a student. Just like if a person pledging, the strong bear the infirmities of the weak. If a person is from the heart and everything comes from the heart and they say, no, but all I can pledge is X amount of dollars a month. But I want to be a part, I want to keep moving. We're going to rock and roll. That's what we're going to do until we get it right. But until then, any more questions, Morris? Y'all I'm 2 more minutes. Any more questions? I done gave everybody information. I think we clear on a lot of things, I'm sure. I'm sure we clear. We say no sir, no questions. That's good. Hey, brother Solomon Abir Bay. Hey, brother, you know when I speak to you, I come from love. You know what I mean? You gotta have that Quran, man. You gotta have that Quran, because when you were speaking, I knew you didn't have it. And we gotta come from that Quran, brother. We gotta study our basics, because that correct us, so we know things. That's why when we wear this fez, I'm telling you, man, we cannot wear this fez looks like it's some hat. And that's the same thing with me and my dad was talking about. I said, because you was in the room with a whole bunch of scientists and us that wear the fez that know the 32 degrees. And we having a conversation with our brother, and you got the fez on, and the person say, man, you're supposed to understand the 32 and 33 degrees. When? They say, when you put that fez on your head, Noble. They be like, what you mean? And they be like, yeah, what you mean what I mean? Let's read it. When I talk about the science is ours, when I say our prophet gave us the 32 and 33 degrees, and our divine instruction, number 2, when he placed the turban and the mithra, which is the turban, on your kapta, and gave you the crown and gave us the science. So that's all I be telling us, brothers. This fez is not just a hat. And we don't wear this fez prematurely. We wear this fez as honorable and nobles. And being the Moor is your birthright. But Moorish is a way we live and a way we study, and the way we initiate ourselves, and the way we follow under the auspices of our Messiah in the flesh. That's what we're supposed to do. Any more questions, man? I'm finishing up. You're sitting there playing, looking like Donald Duck. Any more questions, Morris? My family crazy, y'all. I got a real family, but it is what it is. It's all love. Any more questions? Any more questions, man? You got 3 minutes, Morris. I told you I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna answer some questions. 3 minutes. Thank for the donation, Noble. Thank for the donation, Noble. Everybody that sent the donation, Islam, man, appreciative. Man, y'all wait till we get this physical temple out here, man. We're gonna show these people what it's all about. That Unto Thee I Grant book is very powerful and informative. Well, if you understand it, it's talking about monotheism, and it's synchronized. And a lot of the stuff our prophet talk about a lot of the stuff is the same. That's why I say, man, this new United of Asia, man, it's a higher science. I haven't even broke out the Akashic record book,
Okay.
you know? So it's a lot. Any more questions, man? You got 2 minutes, man. You got 2 minutes. I've been doing good time, man, going strictly a minute and an hour and 40 or exactly 2 hours and done. 2 minutes, Morris. Any questions? Oh, thank you for the donation, man. And I'm talking, my brother sent a donation. Islam Noble for the donation. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, I like that. That's cool. All right. I guess that's it, man. So with that being said, Morris, don't get caught up with no crazy stuff. Be safe. Be safe. Don't be stupid. Y'all saw the workout we did at home this morning. It was amazing. I did a home workout. We did it for an hour. We killed it. My Empress gonna do it with us this weekend. She gonna be, ooh. But stay safe, eat healthy, keep drinking your fruits and vegetables and your teas. Work out, study the science, and help us build this temple. Islam.